All right, what is going on, guys? I'm back with another video today. Today we're going to be talking about my top 3 fallen off rappers. Kind of a wild title. We're just going to get right into it. I'm not going to take up too much time with the intro. My name's Ron. I upload 3 videos on hip hop every week. Let's dive right into the video. So whenever we're talking about rappers who have fallen off, typically we're talking about them in a negative light, or, you know, that their crowd audience isn't as big as it once was, or that the listeners have taken a significant dip, or they're not selling the same as they used to. And if we're not talking about them in that light, then we're talking about them in a nostalgic sense from when they were popping. Today I want to make a little bit more of a positive video and just talk about 3 rappers that have definitely taken a step back in their career and are considered to be fallen off, but that, you know, I really enjoyed their music when they were popping, and that to this day, even every now and then, I'll still spin their record every now and then. I'm not going to include rappers who have fallen off because of age, or if they've been around, you know, if they had more than a 5-year peak, they're established. On average, a rapper gets popping, they're lit for like 2-3 years, and then they take a step back. So if you can solidify yourself in the mainstream for over 5 years, I honestly over like 7 years, and then you sort of take a step back in your mid-30s. I'm not going to count that as falling off. I'm just going to count that as your career running its course, because you establish yourself for, you know, a good period of time. Like an example would be Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa is not going to sell 90K if he drops today, but he's well established. I wouldn't say he ever fell off, and he still has a diehard fan base, and he's still dropping good music. So I wouldn't consider Wiz to be a fallen off rapper. So I'm not going to include him in this category. I'm going to include rappers who had like a 2-3 year mainstream pop and then they fell off. That just couldn't sustain the numbers or the audience that they had for one reason or another. Maybe they were a product of the time, or maybe they just didn't put out the music, or just didn't, you know, go pedal to the throttle. Maybe that's just not what they wanted. So we're going to dive right in. At number 3, I have Smokepurrp. This is kind of a, this might be a controversial one. Believe it or not, bro, in 2018, I mean, it's fully believable. We were all in this in 2018. We were all on the I love it wave. We were all messing with Lil Pump. But me, I was rocking with Smokepurrp. I was rocking with Lil Purp. I was rocking with Lil Water. I don't know if I might be thinking Ugly God, jeez. But I was messing with Smokepurrp. I really enjoyed his music. I really enjoyed Bless Your Trap. I really enjoyed him on Murder Beats production. And I thought that, you know, he was going to be up for a lot longer than he was. Around the time that freestyle happened was probably the time I started getting... I would say that I think the time I stopped listening to Smokepurrp was around Lost Planet, which was in 2019. So right on par, about 2 years after he got on. Not that I guess the music kept going down in quality. It was more so I just sort of lost interest, and I just wasn't, you know, I was just growing up, man. And I think that at that point I had outgrown Smokepurrp. I just sort of realized that, I don't know, I don't have anything bad to say about Smokepurrp. I know there's the interviews, and I know that there's the crowd, audience, whatever. I got nothing bad to say about Smokepurrp, man. He had a lot of great music. I really enjoy a lot of his music. I'll still listen to like Do Not Disturb, 1, 2, 3, Audi, Tide Pen with Jack Harlow. That's another really good one. So he's got some bangers in there, bro. Don't clown me too hard. He's got some bangers in there. I really enjoyed him at that time, and if a Smokepurrp song comes on today, I'm going to listen to it. I'm not going to be mad. That's my number 3 pick. As far as why I feel Smokepurrp fell off, I think that he was just ignorant. He was just young and ignorant. I don't think that he was ready for that amount of fame at that age, and which is kind of crazy. I think he's only like a year older than me. So I just think that, you know, you're young, you get fame quick, and, you know, you're just young and dumb. I think that he was just ignorant. I think the FJ Cole movement, all that was super detrimental to his career. I think he could have played it a lot smarter. And I think if he wanted to come back, I think he could restore a decent bit of his audience, but I don't think he can get back to where he once was without it, because he was never really too on to begin with. He was never really too mainstream. He never really had like a crazy hit, which is no disrespect to him, but I just never saw Smokepurrp have like a crazy Billboard hit or a crazy feature. I didn't see him as that type of artist. I just saw him as sort of a run-the-mill just rapper. And I think that if he had actually signed with Cactus Jack, I think that could have elevated his career a lot more, rather than just like the co-sign that, at that time, a lot of people thought he was signed to Cactus Jack, didn't know that he wasn't signed to Cactus Jack. It was a lot of confusion. A lot of people, it was sort of just being passed off as if he was signed to Cactus Jack, when I don't think that was ever the case. I think that could have helped his career a lot more. I think that if he was a lot more respectful to his older counterparts, then he would probably have a bigger audience today. He's still doing his thing as far as I know today. He's doing music with some Latin artists. He's doing features. He's doing his thing. So as much as the internet might clown on Smokepurrp, a couple years on the mainstream, that's all you really need. Looks like he's doing fine now. I don't see him struggling. And, do I think that he'll ever get back to the point that he once was at? Absolutely not. That's no disrespect to Smokepurrp. I just think he was a product of the time, and I don't think that. And I think that his actions as a younger man got him, sort of solidified his place in hip hop as, just somebody who isn't going to get much attention from the mainstream or just from a large portion of hip hop listeners. So I don't think that he can necessarily come back, but I think he can get himself a little more up. And if you want to be more in a better position music-wise, I think he could definitely achieve that. At number 2, we have Lil Skies. Lil Skies is one that, bro, I still love Lil Skies' music. Lil Skies I listen to a lot. Actually, who I listen to a lot more than Lil Skies is Landon Cube. I listen to a lot. My girl and I love Landon Cube's album. We listen to that a lot, but Lil Skies, definitely, man. Life of a Dark Rose, that was like an anthem for me at 19. In 2017, I listened to that nonstop. The Cuff Boy vlogs, bro. The Cuff Boy vlogs, I was tuned in every day, bro. I was always watching. So whenever Lil Skies would make an appearance on the Cuff Boy vlogs, I was hype. I really enjoyed Lil Skies' music. Today, at 4.4 million monthly listeners, he's still holding his own. He still has a decent audience. I wouldn't say he's fallen all the way off as much as he's taken a step back. Here recently, he dropped another song with Landon Cube, Too Much Too Soon, talking about, I guess, getting the fame and money too fast and not really appreciating it as much. And while this song is not really up my alley, I can definitely see there being an audience for this song. I think there's a lot of great Lil Skies music out there. And, I'm really excited to see what he has coming, because clearly he's trying to make a comeback. He's doing interviews. He's dropping these songs. I can see Lil Skies, I definitely has a better chance of coming back. I can see Lil Skies, doubling these monthly listeners. I can see him, I think he has the potential to make another hit and to get himself back on. I mean, don't forget, he's tapped in with Cole Bennett. I think that while Cole Bennett doesn't have the power he had back in 2018, 2019, I think that he can definitely help Lil Skies in this sense. And I think that Lil Skies has all the connections. He's a super nice guy, super respectful guy from what I've seen. A lot of artists are going to be willing to give him a feature. I think that if he really tries to drop an album and really perfect the rollout, that there is a spot for him in 2025. I don't think that Lil Skies was a product of his time as much as I think that he just took a step back. So I can definitely see Lil Skies, coming back and having a spot and doing his thing, man. I can see him working his way back up to selling 30, 40,000, while some of y'all might not think that's a ton. For Lil Skies, that's an impressive number considering his last album sold 15K, which that was pretty impressive for Lil Skies at that point for just coming back sort of out of nowhere and dropping an album. I don't think a lot of people could do that and retain that audience, especially for the level of artist that Lil Skies was. He was never really like a mainstream pop act, but he was definitely up there to where he was selling like 60K for his week. So he was an established rapper. And I think that he can get himself back to that point. I think Lil Skies has potential. He probably has the most potential on this list, in my opinion, if I'm being real. Like I said, I got nothing bad to say about Lil Skies. I think he makes great music, and I think that he took a step back to take care of his son, to take care of his family, and to get his health in order. And I think that that's a very respectable thing. There's a lot of things we don't know that as to why he took a step back. That's just, from seeing interviews or seeing people talk about why he took a step back. That's the conclusion I drew. And if that's the case, then, it's really respectable. And I really think that Lil Skies is an upstanding guy. I think that he can really get himself to a point where he's back in the mix with everybody that's popping right now. And at number 3, I have Ugly God. Ugly God, bro, at one point was my favorite rapper. Ugly God was actually the first rapper concert I went to in 2017. Roll the clip.
Last time we spoke, I smelled your breath and made me faint. Bitch, hop up in your Honda Civic, all I smell was pain. I waited 30 minutes for a jump so we can.
Hey, I'm with this nigga, man. Come on, I don't know why you fucking with the toes, but you gotta let a young nigga suck their toes, nigga. Gang, 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 gang. Cluck.
Ugly God was actually the first rapper I met like face to face, person to person, that I got to interact with and talk to. And you know, he was a really cool guy. He's a really respectful guy, and that I think that interaction, just as a young kid, I was already a big fan of the music, but definitely, I guess, gave me a little bit more of an attachment to the music. I don't know. I don't know. I really enjoy his music. As far as him falling off, I just don't think that Ugly God was ever really like an internet type guy or one that was really going to try to be. I don't think he was ever had plans to be the next Drake or to be the next Kendrick. I think he just wanted to rap, do his thing, make his money, and get out of here, honestly, or, you know, transition. I know at one point he was trying to transition from like people saw him as a meme rapper to a more serious rapper. And honestly, bro, I never saw Ugly God really as a meme rapper. I just saw him as a rapper who knew how to crack a joke but can get serious when he wants, because that's what it was in a lot of the music. And I think that Ugly God definitely is a mix. He's a healthy mix of a product of his time while also being just, you know, a guy that can come back today if he wanted to. I think there's a lot of demand for Ugly God music because he stays so quiet. He has like a small Cardi bubble. Like if Cardi is the spirit bomb, Ugly God's got like a little concentration of that, of people always on his comments, like, where's the music? Are you gonna drop? People tweeting about, where's Ugly God? I need some Ugly God music. And every few months, Korn or one of these other Twitter accounts will post Ugly God on the boat with the lizard in his mouth or the water music video gif, and it'll go viral. So, you know, I think that Ugly God is somebody who's never really left the people's mind. He might be in the back of a lot of rap fans' minds, but I think he's always been there. And I think that if you were to want to come back, he could do so. I know, you know, his life, he's had a lot going on in his life, and he's been doing his thing and living his life and staying out the way. So, you know, props to him. I'm glad for him on that end. And I think that if he wanted to come back today, he definitely could. I would love to see Ugly God drop new music. I was a big fan, and I don't think really anybody's came for that spot that Ugly God had, that little audience or that section of rap fans or rap listeners that Ugly God had been able to capture. And I think there's a big market for that lane. I mean, you can look at like, I mean, I don't want to name like, you know, Miles in that lane, because, you know, Miles is a meme rapper, but, you know, just somebody who can make some funny rap that still got bars and it's still serious. And I think that Ugly God fit that lane perfectly. And I think that there's a big demand for someone in that lane. Someone like a Young Gravy. Young Gravy is definitely more of a meme pop rapper. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Ugly God, there would be good demand for him. And I think that he would do really well if he were to drop today. I really enjoy Ugly God's music. And I still bump it a lot of the time today. I mean, I don't go out of my way to play it, but if it comes on, I'm going to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm never really gonna skip an Ugly God song unless it's a wild situation where I should not be playing an Ugly God song. I'm probably not gonna skip one. But yeah, these are my top 3 rappers that fell off. I think that all 3 of these guys obviously are all from the same time period. These are guys that I was a big fan of at that period of time. Sort of gives y'all what my taste of music was in 2018. But yeah, I think that all 3 of these guys are talented. I think that they can, some more than others, and I think that they can all regain a little bit of their audience back, if not make a full comeback, if they were to want to drop music again, or if they were to want to, you know, make another push at a second resurgence in their career. Do I think that any of them will realistically come back? Lil Skies, yes, he could. The other 2, I don't really see it happening, but if they wanted to, you know, more props to him. I think it will happen. I think that Ugly God could definitely make a comeback. I think that Smokepurrp could regain a good audience. Really, once you got an audience, bro, you can always feed back into it. You can always, it's just a consistency thing, whether that be music, YouTube, TikTok, anything. If you're doing anything content-wise, it's all consistency, man. And that's what I've noticed. That's what I've seen, at least in my personal experience as a content creator. Obviously, being a musician might be a little different, but I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys did stick around to the end of the video, I really appreciate you guys a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It helps me out a ton. I'm really trying to make that push to 10,000 subs. You guys watching these videos all the way through, clicking that like button, clicking that subscribe really helps a lot more. Even if you just came to hate all the way through and you're just clowning on me watching the video, it still helps a lot. So I appreciate you watching the video. Yeah, that's really all I got for today. I got another video coming out tomorrow. I got a lot of content. I'm trying to get a lot more consistent, and we are going to be posting a lot. We are going to definitely make that push, and it's going to happen, bro. The only question is if you're going to join me or not, because at this point, I'm making that push. After 10, we're hitting 25. After 25, we're hitting that 100K. So it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this other video. Remember to like the video, subscribe, and yeah, check this video out. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.